Well, Fox News dismissing Tucker Carlson yesterday continues to dominate the headlines, but the biggest question is now, who's next? Let's bring in our supersized panel. Patrick Dorinson, the Common Sense Cowboy, David Harris Jr., host of the David Harris Jr. Show, and Curtis Houck, managing editor at Newsbusters. Patrick, I'll go to you first on this one. I was a little bit shocked at this, but at the end of the day, it's a win-win for me, so I'm happy about it. But what about the American people?
Well, Fox has just proved that they don't care about their viewers, that all they care about is some agenda from the corporate leadership. You know, Tucker was the only reason people were tuning into Fox. The rest of the time, folks were watching Newsmax. But again, look at their lineup. Sean Hannity has been around so long, and he has the same people on every night, and I couldn't stand to listen to Reince Priebus anymore. Laura Ingraham, you know, she has a lot of the same folks on. It's just the same lineup, and it's the same stuff. And I think people got tired of it. And I think Fox is going to pay a very heavy price, and it's going to change the media landscape forever.
Yeah, I know Eric Bolling is our 8 o'clock slot, and he is, you know, he's going to be taking over the network before we know it. But a big thank you, obviously, to Fox for doing this. David, yeah, you're in the media business. You understand how this works. Is there any coming back for them?
You know, I think that Fox and Rupert over there, that sounds like he's the one that gave the directive to let Tucker go, probably at the behest of Big Pharma. You know, Tucker was nonstop slaying all these, you know, these companies that are supposed to be, you know, off limits, and Tucker just kept it real. I don't think Rupert or Fox, whoever made the ultimate decision, I'm sure it was Rupert, thought that he was going to see such a windfall, though. $1 billion in one day. That hurts worse than the lawsuit he just settled and shouldn't have settled with Dominion. And I don't think it's going to stop there, because I think that they at Fox, whether that's Rupert or whoever else, believe that they were bigger than Tucker. They didn't think that Tucker was why people were watching Fox as much as they were. They believe they have enough talent over there, but I don't think that they do. So I think that it's going to be very, very interesting to see what takes place. And hey, like you said, Carl, I'm glad to be over here on Newsmax with you and my buddy Eric.
You always got a home here, David. But Curtis, the executives that dive headfirst in this pool of foolishness every single time, it never is positive for them whenever they start to shift left. Why would you ignore your audience?
Yeah, that's the same question, Carl. I guess, you know, because I'm wearing a Lemons tie today in honor of Don Lemon, they guess they're really just having to make lemonade out of this situation. I mean, I think the streaming platform is the bigger point. You know, he was doing these investigative, you know, Tucker Carlson originals that, in my opinion, are something that conservative media should be doing more of. These long-form stories, really to push back against 60 Minutes, because the left has all kinds of investigative TV shows.
Well, fact checkers.
But conservatives really don't. So he needs those kinds of, you know, conservative media needs those kinds of things, I guess, because they've Glenn Beck, you know, Megyn Kelly, Bill O'Reilly have all left, and Fox hasn't really suffered. They think, well, it didn't hurt us too much then. We can just keep going. We'll see if Tucker's different.
Yeah, I guess so. But Patrick, when you've got people in droves, I mean, look, Fox Nation was always, you know, let's just say I don't think it was net revenue positive for any reasonable amount of time. People are leaving in like droves. I mean, you got people with multi-million followings tweeting out the pictures of them canceling their Fox Nation service. Is it just like the beatings will continue till the morale improves?
Well, I think so. And remember, Fox Nation was kind of, like you said, it was weak until Tucker came along with his long-form stuff, as Curtis said. And actually, that was what saved Fox Nation temporarily. You know, it's one thing when Bill O'Reilly left Fox, because Bill O'Reilly was having dalliances that he shouldn't have had, and he really didn't, you know, do much after that. And if you look around the whole media landscape, Megyn Kelly had a hard time when she left. Shepard Smith, another one who left. And I think what the problem with them was they thought they were bigger than they really were. And the person like, you know, Tucker, he is big.
Yeah.
And in this new world of digital world and everything else, look at Joe Rogan, how big he is. Yeah. Tucker Carlson is going to make them pay a hard price. Yeah. And quite frankly, it couldn't happen to a nicer bunch.
David Harris Jr., I'll give you the last 15 seconds.
I'm just thankful that all these woke-minded individuals, regardless of, especially if they're on the conservative side of the aisle, keep exposing themselves, or these companies that we think that have the American ways back, they expose themselves like Bud Light did, so that we as patriots can make our voices felt. We can pay, we can vote with our dollars, and we can stop supporting these companies that hate our values and hate us.
That's true. Curtis.
Shifting is coming. Things are changing, and that's a good thing, in my opinion.
Curtis, I'll lead with you next time. I promise. David Harris Jr., I have that shirt that you sent me. It's fantastic. I get all kinds of messed up looks at the gym.
Buy
Appreciate
inflation, baby.
Patrick,
LoveThatMerch.com.
Patrick, David, and Curtis, appreciate you being here.